Hi there, this is Kaushik Ranchod from the Ranchod Law Group. I want to welcome you to our immigration show. Today, we are going to be answering some top questions that we've been getting, so you'll want to stay tuned. And if you haven't already, smash that like button, boom, and subscribe so you can continue to get these important updates. We're also going to talk about a case study, so let's get started. So this is specifically for the I601A waiver. One of the top questions that I'm getting is, can a US citizen child file for me? So this is a really great question. You have to make sure that you have a qualifying relative that can apply for you. So for the purposes of the I601A, a US citizen child is not a qualifying relative. However, if you have a US citizen spouse or a lawful permanent resident spouse or a US citizen parent or a lawful permanent resident parent, then that would be considered a qualifying relative. If you have what's called unlawful presence when you've entered without a visa, it can cure that unlawful presence. So you may not need an I601A waiver. If you entered with a visa, so let's say you entered on a visitor visa and then you overstayed, then your US citizen child could apply for you. Now, even if you entered without a visa, you may be eligible for something called 245I. I'm not gonna dive into that in this video. So check out our other videos for the specific details on that. That is question number one. Now, the second question, this is probably one of our most popular questions, is why is it taking so long? What are the processing times for the I601A? So I know this is very frustrating because the processing times are taking a very long time now. We've seen that happen towards, with the Trump administration, with COVID, processing times have increased. The Nebraska Service Center is taking anywhere from 1.5 years to 24.5 months. And that is the fast service center. Now keep in mind, this is only for the I601A. This doesn't include the I-130 petition that is processed prior to the I601A. It doesn't include also being scheduled for an interview after the I601A is approved. It doesn't include NVC processing times. This is just for the waiver itself. Now, what if you're at the Potomac Center? The Potomac Center is taking anywhere from 27.5 to 36 months. So I know this is long. However, it's better to take action now than to not do anything because time will pass. And I'm hoping now with the vaccine out and things beginning to open up that the processing times will increase, and that will be yet to be seen. Now, if you have questions that you would like answered, post them below. If you just want to be part of the community, it's good to post your questions because that way other people can share their experiences as well. Now I'm going to share an I601A waiver case study with you. In this situation, our client's case had been botched by a notario. They prepared the case incorrectly and it was botched. So we were able to rehabilitate the case and get it approved. So what we first like to do is analyze the hardships. So we looked at the hardships of the case because the whole case is based off of hardships to the US citizen. So in this situation, the client had been married to the US citizen for 10 years. They also had 3 US citizen children. So there's a lot of evidence there of ties to the United States. Also, although the children aren't direct qualifying relatives, there is also hardship to the children, so it's an indirect form of hardship. Now, not only that, but although the US citizen had a decent job, if the client left, she still needed that financial support because childcare services for 3 children while working was not sustainable, was not doable. So we also brought that up as well. We also like to talk about the medical hardship in this case. So in this case, the US citizen also had several medical conditions. So in that, we also brought up those medical conditions too. What was very fulfilling in this case is that we were able to get her the waiver and green card, especially because the rest of her family, her siblings and her mother were able to get a green card, but they neglected to get a green card in this case. And that is just so sad. I see this way too often, but at least there was light at the end of the tunnel. So if you're feeling a little bit worried or anxious about the process, know that there may be a possibility for you. The best way is to connect with our office to find out what the solutions are, or you can post your comments below And I just want you to know that light will always overcome darkness, faith will always overcome fear, and love will always overcome hate. So there is light at the end of the tunnel. I want you to have faith, just in life itself, beyond immigration, just in life. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video, to take time out of your valuable day to be here in this moment with me. I hope I was able to serve you. Tune in next week, and bye for now.